Welcome to the Hemlock State Explorer. Thanks for joining us on this glorious fall day as we explore the Flat Rock Trail in the Tuscarora State Forest of Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. The trailhead begins at that parking area where there's room for about 7 vehicles, and if we walk along the road, we'll cross now because it's safe to do so, at those blue blazes pointing to our left, that's where the trail actually begins. Just be careful walking along here. You can hear a fast moving vehicle coming behind us. Just wait for that to pass. All right, we're good now. The Flat Rock Trail hooks up with the Tuscarora Trail, and then we'll loop back on a trail called the Warner Trail, and that'll create a loop of about 8.5 to 9 miles. This first leg will be uphill until we reach the ridge of the Tuscarora Trail. It gets quite rocky up there, but we'll catch some beautiful views of the Cumberland Valley from the Flat Rock. Here's some information right here about the Tuscarora Trail. Okay, this blue blaze trail that we're on right now is the Tuscarora Trail. After about a solid mile of uphill hiking, we've reached the pinnacle of the Tuscarora Mountain. It wasn't particularly steep, but it was uphill the whole way. There were steep spots, but the trail made use of a ravine at the beginning and followed the contours of that, and then some switchbacks or a switchback up the side of the mountain. But here we're at a convergence of a number of trails. I just ran into a fellow adventurer who took the wrong way and had to come back. So let me just point out to you, this blue blaze trail is the Tuscarora Trail. This is the way we came up. This Woodburn Trail heads back down to Doubling Gap Road. That was that main road we started up, but this goes a little bit to the west of where we started. The Blue Blaze Trail up ahead is the Tuscarora Trail again, heading south, and that's where we'll go to the Flat Rock Trail. This Lehman Trail is a shortcut between the Tuscarora Trail that we're on right now and the Warner Trail. So these both kind of go in the same direction. And then this Warner Trail, this Red Blaze Trail, is where we anticipate coming back when we complete our loop. And then this yellow blazed Flat Rock Trail, and you see it says to Colonel Denning State Park 1 mile. This leads to the parking lot at the Colonel Denning campground. So there you go, so you don't get turned around. But as for us, we're gonna just enjoy this beautiful sunshine, take a breather. Our heart is pumping. We're just gonna hang out at this picnic table for a bit and then head on to the Flat Rock to catch some beautiful views of the Cumberland Valley. Now, saying all those names of trails might not mean much just hearing them, but be sure to check out hemlockstateexplorer.com, where you can find the full adventure with a map, and then when you look at the map, it'll make perfect sense. After the convergence of trails at the Tuscarora Trail Shelter, the landscape is relatively flat and passes through some mountain laurel and a little bit of a wet spot, although there was a boardwalk and it was dry because we haven't had much rain lately since the end of summer. But this is the final ascent, and this part's quite rocky, but it's not very long. It's doable. The rocks are arranged in somewhat of a step formation, making it easy to climb. You just have to keep at it. And after a short distance of this final thrust, we'll make it to the Flat Rock Overlook. And here it is, the aptly named Flat Rock Overlook of the Tuscarora Trail. Glorious. Come out here and check out this beautiful panoramic view. Let's be on the lookout for snakes first, as they Love to hang out on these rocks. Whoa, look at that. Look at those mountains in the background, the Cumberland Valley in the foreground, farmland. That mountain across the way is South Mountain, where Pine Grove Furnace and Tuscarora State Forest are located. Lord willing, we'll make it out there for some adventures. Wow, glorious. You could spend hours up here picking out landmarks. I especially like this view back here to the right, where you can see the mountains curving around. It's a little bit hazy, but Shippensburg is to our right. Can't see it with the sun shining through the clouds and the haze, and then Carlisle would be off to our left. After Flat Rock, we continued north and then east on the Tuscarora Trail. Immediately after Flat Rock, the trail was easy to lose in spots because of the leaves and the rockiness. Unlike on the way up, it wasn't a broad trail, but it was more like, well, it was just blazes on a tree until we came down from the mountain ridge and it became more of a discernible trail. From there, it went down into what is called Wildcat Hollow, and that was a very pleasant hike in the ravine between the two mountains. And from there, we turned left on the Red Blaze Trail called the Wildcat Trail, but it forms part of what is called Warner Loop, and we're skirting a ridge that you see to our left called Buck Ridge, and we'll loop back around to the convergence of all those trails at the ridge of the Tuscarora Mountains. I just wanted to give you the character of the trail. It's such a pleasant, peaceful, quiet trail in between the ridges of the mountains, and we're going to be turning left soon across that little plain through which a stream flows. But it's just been so pleasant. A cool breeze, sunshine on our head and shoulders. We really need to make it out here if you're able to. There's nothing been too exceptional as far as landmarks other than Flat Rock on this adventure, but just the pleasantness down in between the mountains. It's like an escape from the normal grind of life. Here's a tip. The Warner Trail joins up with a road at the top of the ridge. We came from the left, and one might be inclined to continue following the road, but pay close attention to the map, because you don't want to continue following the road up the mountain. You want to turn aside to the right and then follow this path through the gate. There's a sign for the Warner Trail. It used to be a sign, but what you want is to pass through this gate, and then this will take you back to the convergence of all those trails we saw earlier at the top of the ridge. The Warner Trail on the north side, that is heading back up Tuscarora Mountain on in the direction of Colonel Denning State Park, is not as nice as the trails on the other side of Buck Ridge. The Warner Trail on this side is grassy and weedy in spots, and even muddy in a few spots. So it hasn't been the best part of the trail, but things get much easier once you get back on this. It looks like an old dirt road, and then we'll expect to meet up very shortly with the Tuscarora Trail again, and then head back down the way we came. We are heading back down the north side of the mountain the same way we came up on this mossy, leaf-covered trail heading towards Route 233 and the parking area. We want to thank you for joining us on this adventure to the Flat Rock overlook at Tuscarora State Forest. Be sure to check out the full adventure with everything you need to know before you go at hemlockstateexplorer.com. And there you'll find many other adventures for you to get out and explore. And until next time, we can't wait to see you on the next adventure.